Okay, there we go. And it's gonna load. So we gotta wait a little because it's loading now.
Oh,
Can you hear
Hey.
me okay?
hey.
Let me turn the volume. Testing 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you hear us?
Oh, now I could hear you. Let me just turn up the volume a little. Yeah, we had this problem with a couple other band members as well, a couple other bands. A lot of people will use PC, but it will not work on the PC computer or laptop. You got to be on the cell phone. It only works on the cell phone.
Oh, oh,
Hey, you have your Wi-Fi on, right? Is your Wi-Fi on? Okay, cool, cool. All
yeah.
right. Wait, how did you do that? It's split screen. It doesn't look like you're
I don't
next to
know.
each. It
We
No,
does.
it's just us. We're together.
yeah,
Oh, I thought it was a split
we
screen.
live
I was
together.
like, how do you do that?
No.
It's split screen. Okay, I'm glad we got on because we had this problem, like I
Yeah.
said earlier, with other bands, and I couldn't do the interview and stuff. Okay,
Oh, dang.
all right. Let me turn up the volume one more time. Okay, before we do the interview, we're gonna just have a normal discussion. Okay.
Sounds good.
What have you been doing during this lockdown?
Making up a whole new designs for whipped and chain,
Uh huh.
and escaping to Half Moon Bay.
Oh, I like that place.
Yeah,
Half
Yeah,
Moon Bay.
my mental health has not been good in Oakland.
Yeah, yeah. That place.
out for it.
That place is really, really cool. I love
Yeah.
that nature area. Okay.
Anyway,
Yes.
connect with trees and plants and,
Uh
you
huh.
know, get away from the catastrophe of the mindset going on right now has been helpful. So,
All right. Hey, by the way, sorry if I'm talking too fast because I don't really drink coffee. But I'm. This is my second one. I'm drinking yerba mate, so I'm just so fucking amped out right now.
it's all good.
That's me at
'Cause-
shows because I don't drink alcohol. So
yeah.
I know like
Oh,
kombucha
right, right. Yeah, I don't.
get amped up.
No drink, no cigarette, no drugs or anything. But the only thing I do is caffeine once a week. But I've been doing it like 2 or 3 times. Okay, so I want to ask you this because sometimes on my Facebook posts I see like kids are having like anxiety issues and stuff. What suggestion would you give for people who have like anxiety issue during this lock time?
I would suggest getting off of social media or at least
Uh huh.
limiting yourself to the amount of time that you spend on social media.
Uh huh.
And whatever way that you can find a way to connect yourself with plants. I've recently been growing onions and different cuttings from scraps of, compost, things that we would normally throw away.
Uh huh.
And it's been helpful to just kind of feel that connection towards any kind of plant, no matter what it is that you're able to get. And just using that energy and connecting with that plant um,
Okay.
has helped us to feel more grounded and less erratic, I guess you could say.
Okay, that's cool. And then I've been seeing.
Also putting your anxiety and pain and anger into like art, into something that you can feel accomplished with.
Uh huh.
So at the end of the day, you're like, I did that. You know?
Right. That's cool. That's good answer. I like that. Because sometimes I don't know. Anxiety could be a good thing. Because before this happened, when I get anxiety, I would be in the gym. I would just jog on the treadmill. Sometimes anxiety could be a good thing, like to do
Right.
physical activities and stuff. And then I've been looking at my stuff. There was a link last week I saw during this lockdown, like abusive relationship, like people who are abusive and stuff in a relationship. It was going up high. Like a lot of people think abusive relation is just physical, so also like mental, like using
For
abusive
sure.
words and stuff. What suggestion would you give? What suggestion would you give to somebody who is in a lockdown but stuck in that abusive relationship?
Um,
My suggestion would be to keep a journal and write down all the things that you're feeling and processing,
Uh
and
huh.
remind yourself that these things that are being brought towards you are not part of your identity and not part of you. And it could be an extension of this person's anger or frustration or whatever it may be. And just know that that is not who defines us. And I think it's important to, if we're able to get some kind of time alone, whether it be, locking ourselves in the bathroom and writing something in the journal,
Uh huh.
or, just going outside and, getting away from it if you can, or, even just kind of meditating, whatever state you're in, just kind of, you know, committing yourself to, uh, committing yourself to, like your own higher power and your own higher self, to know that, this isn't not a permanent situation, and there are ways to heal and transform things, and nothing is ever the same, nothing's ever permanent.
Yeah, abuse. Yeah, just to let you know to the people, abusive relationship could be also from family as well. When you have family,
Definitely.
it could
Oh
be
yeah.
anything and stuff. Can you hear
I
that?
mean,
What?
I've had to, leave my house and uh, find a safe spot at a friend's house,
Uh huh.
and it's hard. There's so many different ways of solving things, but I still have to do a lot of, doing meditation,
Uh huh.
getting in that moment where you were abused, and and let yourself know that you're okay,
Right.
and that it wasn't, your fault
Uh huh.
or that person's fault. It could be a generational abuse, something that was passed on from generation to generation. Yeah.
Yeah, and some people have no choice because they're stuck there, especially
Right.
young kids who have family and stuff and all
Yep.
that.
Sure.
Yeah, but
Especially with kids that aren't able to, some kids, their escape is to go to school, and that's where they can connect with their friends and, feel a sense of community in their own family. And when they come back home, it's like they're stuck in the rut again.
right.
And so I think right now it's important for kids to, I don't know, find some kind of activity or
Uh huh.
outlet to do, so they're not constantly feeling like they're stuck in this situation or feeling like this is the only way out.
Right. Cool. Thank you for the advice and stuff because
Even
everything's
connecting with
different.
music,
Yeah.
just connecting with the music and drawing pictures in a
Uh huh.
journal that you feel
Right.
like that's your therapy.
Yes. I mean, when I was really young, like when I had adults and stuff, with living with adults, like if they were too like crazy or abusive, I just played along with it and just like obey them. The once I don't know, I just left and stuff. But that's all. But also now we're gonna talk about all kinds of stuff. We're gonna talk about fun stuff. We're gonna talk about music and distro. But before we get into that, we haven't even started the interview. But I want to know about your vegan leather distro. Tell me about the vegan leather and stuff. Show us some of your product.
Well, I just came out with this new design that I'm currently wearing. So, yeah, I am.
You have made that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And those are all non-leather. And what other stuff
Yep.
do you make? Because I saw it at
I make belts and bootstraps and harnesses.
right.
I currently don't have that much stuff with me because I'm in Half Moon Bay right now, currently. But
Oh, okay, okay, for
yeah, you
sure.
can check it out on Instagram, Whipped and Chain on Instagram right now.
Yeah, because I saw you at Manic.
Because we're still
Right.
sending stuff. So,
I saw your distro at Manning Market. You had a bunch of stuff, and also in Gilman, all that. Excuse me. So you sell that on Etsy then?
I
Or
sell it through Instagram.
oh, Instagram.
Yeah, just because the taxes, you have to pay taxes and include that in the taxes. It's just the fucking system.
Wait,
You gotta.
is Instagram more better? You could sell stuff on Instagram?
Well, we use PayPal, so people can just PayPal as opposed to
Oh, okay.
go through stores and have all these fees and stuff processed to, use pay certain fees to use for this website. Like we've used Etsy before, but
Uh-huh.
it seems like more nowadays it's just there's more and more fees and more strings attached. So
Wow.
we'd rather just keep it under the table as much as we can. And
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's cool. No, because I have a small distro and I use Etsy and stuff, and I notice about the tax costs and small percentage they take and
Yeah,
stuff.
I use this
That's smart.
microfiber, this really cool microfiber fabric,
Wow.
vegan.
How did you learn how to make those? Did you learn it on your own or?
Well, I actually I went through a kind of an apprenticeship with a old school punk rocker
Uh huh.
uh woman. Her name is Esther, and she was from Berlin, and she gave me my very first tattoo, and she would hang out with all the street punks on Haight Street. So I got introduced because my parents were hippies, and they would go to all the free shows, and then the punks were there, and so they would my parents would let me hang out with the punks with all
That
the
is cool,
scum fucks,
dude. Oh my
SFSF.
gosh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah, my parents let me hang out.
I haven't heard that scumfuck since, oh my gosh, late
Yeah,
90s.
I'm still friends with some. Yeah.
I thought they all died or something. I thought
Oh,
late 90s was the last
it was
time I
cool. I
heard.
hung out with them in front of what was it? The Great American
Uh-huh.
with NBC played with who was it? TSOL,
The,
and that was really cool.
the scumfuck squatters, they had like tattoos on their face.
Yeah, my friend had a tattoo that
It
went
was
right here.
like,
Esther. Yeah.
I don't know. I met a couple of the scumfucks a long time ago in the late 90s.
Do you remember a chick with a neon orange mohawk and she had a tattoo on her eye?
I don't know. I met a
That
couple.
was my friend who taught me how to do leather work and
I'm,
chain link
uh-huh.
jewelry.
I met like few punks up there when San Francisco a long time ago, late 90s. But the tattoos were all messed up homemade tattoos. They were not professional, and I was shocked. I was going, "Oh my
I was gonna
gosh,
get one,
that's
but I
fucking
didn't. I was gonna
crazy!"
get a
And all
moon
that.
tattooed right here.
Oh, okay. No, I'm done. I'm done with tattoos. You know, the last time it's been many years. Too painful. Okay, most important question too, for those who doesn't know, what is anarcho goth? What is anarcho goth?
well, I think it's definitely a term that has more recently been, I wouldn't say discovered, but more used. Um, I don't really consider myself goth, but
Uh-huh.
I use the hashtag anarcho goth because I like the idea of anarchy based beliefs incorporated into goth music because goth music nowadays is very mainstream. Or it's like people could consider people like celebrities who don't listen to goth music goth because they wear dark makeup and stuff like that. And so that's what I always felt like the difference between death rock and goth was like death rock is like the subculture of punk who grew up listening to Subhumans and Christian Death and the Adolescents and like these punk bands that kind of had roots to darker elements of music. Goth is more of like a mainstream subculture nowadays where people just identify anything dark or mysterious as goth. And so I like the term anarcho goth because it's kind of like reclaiming. I mean, I guess you could say anarcho death rock, but it's like anarcho death rock is not heard of. But I mean, I personally identify as anarcho
Yeah.
death rock,
Uh-huh.
and that's why we call ourselves anarcho death rock. But we do identify as anarcho goth because I feel like we need to break that mainstream
Uh-huh.
um, persona or perception of what goth is and return to the elements of punk and subculture and those roots
Okay.
of where it truly came from. So
All right. Bef- Before I start the band interview, what are your favorite top 5 albums, either LP or top 5 EPs?
my top 5 EPs are Farts by Rudimentary Peni. These are all EPs that like really shaped me into the belief system that I have today. Um, so Farce by Rudimentary Peni, Texts by Poison Girls, they're a huge influence on me because I know that Crass had a lot of help from Poison Girls, and they weren't able to fund their records if it weren't for Poison Girls. So if it weren't for Poison Girls, you could say there would be no Crass. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I have read from
Oh
multiple
wow.
places. Um, Also, Anti-Schism. I grew up listening to Anti-Schism. I can't remember the name of the EP.
Okay.
Um, what else? Dirt, Just an Error is probably one of my favorite EPs. As
Dirt.
much as hell yeah, hell yeah. As much as I love Object, Refuse, Reject, Abuse, I think Just an Error. I feel like they have like I don't know. That EP has a heavier sound and it's more grittier and it's more raw sounding. So that's what I really admire about that.
Oh, cool.
And then I would say for Grass, Penis Envy is probably my favorite EP.
Cool. I love Death Church by
Yeah.
Rudimentary Peni. How about you?
Yeah,
Oh
I just
yeah.
check this out. I just got this tattooed.
Oh, that's from the Death Church album. I love that's my favorite album, Death Church from Peni.
Hell yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I would say my favorite 5 LPs or I guess albums would be Doom, Peel Sessions, Oi Polloi, The Six of the Best. You know that one?
No,
It's the one with the fist, the Nazi sign.
I never heard that one.
It says, stop racism, fascism. Yeah.
That's cool.
You never heard of that one?
No, the only album
That
no, I haven't. I haven't. I
Yeah,
gotta
it's really
listen
good.
to it. No, I haven't.
We're
I'll
gonna
check it
boot,
out.
gonna boot, gonna boot down the doors, smash the oppression, smash the stinking laws.
The only song I heard
Yeah.
similar to that, booting down the doors, pigs, pigs, pigs for slaughter, by Oi Polloi.
Who's that?
Say Oi
Oh, Oi
Polloi,
Polloi?
but it's called. They changed the lyrics to "Pigs for Slaughter." It was in the '80s. It goes, "We're gonna booting down the
Oh,
door, pigs, pigs, pigs for slaughter." Okay,
oh,
yeah,
okay.
okay,
And then
yes.
Contravene, A Call to Action. I like that album.
Oh, they're my old friends, Contravene.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
saw
wow.
you them. What was
No,
that show like?
even before they started the band, the singer and the guitarist Eric. Oh fuck, it's been so long. I forgot her name. I'm sorry, but Eric and her, they used to come down and visit me from Arizona, and
Oh wow.
we used to put out festival. And they used to help out and stuff. When the internet was starting, they used to make web pages because I didn't know how to make web pages. Web pages for festival called Solidarity Fest. We've been having it for a long time. Then they organized Solidarity Fest in Arizona, and I would fly over there and watch their fest and stuff. But yeah, before they started to contravene, we were in touch, and they would actually they would drive. They wouldn't fly. They would drive and bring the whole entire distro. It was called Catchphrase Records and stuff. But
Wow.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, I've stayed with them a couple of times. They came. This is a long time ago though. But they're doing. Last thing they sent me was they were doing some kind of like a side project. It was kind of like doom. I don't know what's it called, doom metal, where like
Oh,
really.
that's cool.
I don't know what it is. Really slow, but it's like very strange.
Nice.
And Plasmatics Coup d'etat.
Oh, Plasmatics.
Yeah, because
Wow.
she was a raw vegan and
Yes.
against the, the stereotypical makeup industry of,
Yes.
yeah,
May she,
and animal
right.
testing.
May she rest in paradise. Rest in peace to Wendy. Yes.
I'm kind of kicking myself because I got an opportunity to meet Lemmy from Motorhead, and I didn't ask him if the on the album of Coup d'etat was that his tank, because in his movie, the Lemmy movie, he talks about how he had a tank and all this, military stuff
Oh, I never seen that
in a
film.
big storage unit.
Wow.
It must have been huge. I mean, you're gonna have your own tank, shit.
Right. Okay. It's been 25 minutes. Almost 25 minutes.
And resistant culture.
25 minutes. Okay. All right. Let's talk Mystic Priestess. Now we're starting the band interview. How did Mystic Priest started?
Um,
I was working at a I was working at a club called Bottom of the Hill in San Francisco,
Uh huh.
and there was a punk show happening, and I met Sierra because Sierra ordered some food for me, and I was working in the kitchen at
I
the
had a
time.
big blue mohawk at the
Yeah,
time.
Sierra had a big blue mohawk at the time, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, this person is so cool. Like, probably the most interesting person I've ever seen working here for like the last 3 years. And so I got to talking to them and found out that we each had mutual friends with each other. I grew up in San Jose, so I was around in the punk scene in San Jose.
Uh huh.
Um, and so we realized we had mutual friends, and so we just kind of started talking. And one day we ended up sharing our journals together. And then after that, we said, we should start writing music together. So,
Well, no, no, you sent me a recording at
oh,
Bottom of the
yeah, that's
Hill.
right. The Where Were You
Yeah.
song,
Uh
that
huh.
was the first recording that I sent to Sierra. And I was like, this is what I have. I don't really have much to work with, but this is what I've been working on. And so
Wow.
that was kind of the first song. So we focused on that,
Mm-hmm.
and Blissful Myth by Ruderman AP and I were like the two songs that kind of kickstarted everything.
I think Small Minded World was our second song.
Hmm.
I used to bring my guitar,
Uh huh.
my electric guitar, and like a little mini pocket amp that used like a D battery, and we would meet up at Grace Cathedral in San
Right
Francisco.
where the labyrinth is outside, and we
Yeah,
have band
and we
practice
would
there.
just hang out there and write music and think
Mm-hmm.
of ideas, and yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
I seen you a few times live, and I know you were not happy with the show on Hayden Ashbury, but I was happy. I thought you did an amazing job, and you brought that thing that it opens like a wing, and
Oh
all
Oh
that.
yeah,
yeah,
I thought that was a really good performance you did in an outdoor. Then another favorite show indoor, I would say, watching Mystic Priestess was that when you opened up the only theater of pain.
oh
That
yeah.
show
yeah.
was awesome. In case people who don't know only theater of pain, they're doing Rick Agnew and
Jaton Demone.
yeah, they're doing the whole album, and that show was awesome too. That was really 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 awesome and stuff. And
Steve Skeletal.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Did you design that costume with that huge wing?
I got the wing somewhere,
Uh
but
huh.
the final outfit that I was wearing that day is made by um a designer in Canada named Artifice Clothing.
Oh, just wondering because I used to take fashion at Fullerton College. This was like, geez, 1990 or something, and
Oh wow, cool.
when I was in high school, I started in high school clothing class. I was the only guy in clothing class, and it was all girls and stuff. I used to make clothes and all that, but
Look, I'm wearing your shirt.
it's been many years and stuff. Oh,
Resist and exist.
Jason Justice designed that. I'm wearing the Mystic Priestess shirt right there.
Oh,
Oh, thank
nice,
you.
Mystic Priestess shirt.
nice.
But yeah,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Also, I want to talk about Otzi's. Due to all this happen, the whole Otzi tour got canceled too, right?
Yeah, it did. We were supposed to play in Europe,
Uh huh.
and we were also supposed to play South by Southwest.
Uh huh. How do you have enough time to do two bands? How many bands do you
Well,
have?
I don't have a job other than what we're working on with Whipped and Chained, so I've just kind of been a full-time musician.
Oh, that's cool because you used to work at a record store for that,
Yeah.
right? And then tell us about the Mystic Priestess shows in Los Angeles because due to I used to live in LA. Tell us where did you play in LA when you played in Los Angeles?
We
The
played
Echoplex.
we played a few different places. We played a part-time punk show at the Echoplex. Um, we also played some smaller house
Uh
shows
huh.
in Pomona.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that was like it's like someone's garage that they just set up, and it was like a little backyard show kind of thing. So
Because
it was fun. It wasn't just like I don't know. It was like an intimate experience of like all the local punks and death rockers. So
Yes.
cool.
That
And then we played the 5 Star Bar.
oh,
Hmm.
I never been there. Five Star
Yeah.
It's a
Bar.
pretty cool place. They have
Yeah.
like a small stage, but
Uh huh.
yeah, I don't know. It's a cool spot.
Because part-time punks. That's my old neighbor. I
Oh
used to
Mm,
live
wow.
there. That's my favorite club. I like that club.
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Did you get a good response? Did you like the shows there? Because I like that club a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a really fun stage to play on. Really big stage to play on. They have a great sound system.
I saw Zounds there. It was really really cool and all
Wow.
Wow.
that. Yeah. And also tell us about your new material that's on the Bandcamp.
Yeah, we released a 6 song EP entitled Part Time Punk Session. It was recorded at the KXLU. Um,
By Josiah.
yeah, Josiah Mazeski. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Did you
Sorry
say
if I'm not
Michael?
pronouncing. Josiah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. We were working with Michael too. Are you friends with Michael?
Because I know him because we used to organize a couple shows with Michael at Part Time Punks before. That's
Oh,
why.
cool.
Yeah, and before I knew Michael, my friends and I used to go there and hang out and all that at
Oh,
Part
right
Time
on. Yeah.
Punks.
So Michael kind of
Yeah.
pulled all the strings together. So he set up the show that we played at the Echoplex, and then the day after that, we recorded with Part Time Punks
Cool.
um, at the Cave Studios in LA. And yeah, it was a 6 song EP of songs that some songs we have released already, but some newer songs that we haven't released.
Are these songs only on Bandcamp or are they gonna come
No, they're
on vinyl?
available on all streaming
Yeah.
platforms:
Spotify
Spotify,
and
YouTube, Instagram.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
cool. And also on this new release, what does the lyrics deal with?
um well, Spiny Wings I wrote after I had a dream about having my energy sucked by vampires.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, a psychic vampire that was stealing all my artistic ideas and
Go ahead, keep talking, keep talking. I'm just trying to find a cool
and
cool thing. Keep talking.
yeah, there's a lot of psychic vampires in the scene. So
Wow.
you have to be careful how much information you give to people. So and Smoke and Mirrors is it's a song I wrote about just fake ass people, fake ass people in the scene that I've had to heal from. So
Wow. That's I'm happy to hear you heal from all that
oh
stuff
yeah,
and all that. A while
but
right.
art is the way to get it out in a healthy way.
Okay, that's good to hear. And when I saw you live, I never seen a. I mean, I have seen it, but especially with like a death rock bands and stuff, I never seen a band live that's like stop and like explain the songs in between, and that was cool. Like you were explaining your old songs, you were talking about different issues and stuff. That was really awesome. I think you were talking about like I don't know if it was about some kind of violence or something.
Oh,
I don't.
that's what the Where Were You?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at
Yes.
that was at the Anarchist Fest.
No, and also at the that's San Francisco that festival. You were talking there too.
Oh yeah, at the Hate Street.
Oh, the Hate Street Fair.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. Like that was awesome though. Like explaining these songs and stuff. How about your old songs? What did they deal with? The lyrics.
I have a song called Moon Cycle, which is about healing from trauma and finding the earth elements and practicing, earth magic to help heal yourself.
Not comparing yourself to other people or other scenarios, and yeah.
Cool. What are some of your favorite venues or clubs to play in the East Bay area? Oh, Chuck says love you guys. Hey Chuck.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
hey
love you
Chuck, love
too.
you.
Oh,
Yeah. What are?
I love the Uptown was pretty cool when we played it with Only Theater Pain. Eli's Mile High Club is cool. Golden Bowl. Um, have yet to play at Oakland uh, Metro, but there's just so much shit that went down there. It's
Oakland,
crazy.
Oakland Metro is so huge. There's not even like a backstage room, huh, or dressing room where you could relax. Am I
Right.
correct or not?
Yeah.
They have a backstage area covered by a curtain.
Yeah.
That's easy to sneak into
Yeah.
Oh,
if you want to be a true fan and just say a little something nice to somebody who uh inspires you, you know. But I
but
don't think you should hang out there the whole time.
because like Eli's, they have it upstairs, a private room.
Uh-huh.
Like a while back, I was at a show and Jacoby was doing his hair in the private room and they were doing stuff. But at the Oakland Metro, there's no room like that where you could get ready and do your hair. Or am I correct?
As far as I know, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
Okay.
know.
I thought it was just like behind the curtain.
Uh huh. How about you? What's your favorite venue and clubs to play in the East Bay?
um, yeah, the Buzzard is a cool place. Um, there's a lot of I don't know. I feel like there's less and less places for live music to happen. So I'm grateful for people who open up their house to have backyard shows and people who open up spaces that are not official venue spaces to host those kind of events. Whether it be in a park or nowadays you don't really see people having generator shows, but the generator shows that do happen are probably the most exciting and fun, I would say, in my experience. So
You just
I
said,
grew up going to Warm Water Cove. Do you remember Warm Water Cove?
what is that?
Well, it was before in San Francisco. It was before the T line happened, and
I
there
have
was
no
the
idea.
15 bus that you would take going through Hunters Point in the Bayview.
No.
And there was a small place. A lot of like bands went there. Like they would call it Toxic Beach back in the day when X played and stuff.
Oh,
But they like every weekend we would go down there and somebody would bring a generator and they would have the most badass like shows right next to the water. And there was this one area where you could like walk over this one like empty lot where there was like empty like muni buses with all this graffiti. It was really cool.
that's cool. So like no permit, just bring a generator and hook it up
Yeah,
and start playing.
this
Wow.
was like in the early 2000s.
Okay. All right. Just really quick before I go to the next question, since you mentioned backyard shows, when I first moved here after Miriam had one of the coworkers, she threw like a backyard party, but it was like all like goth death rock party.
oh
And,
wow.
and I never been to a goth death rock party in a broad daylight where the sun is everything. And I was going, wow, this is fucking weird in a broad daylight. That's like you.
Uh-huh.
That's like almost like seeing a bunch of goth and death rockers at a beach in a sunny weather, but it was at a daytime. So, okay. Now, the next question is, what's the local like the DIY scene like in the East Bay, including like punk and goth and death rock? What's the local scene like in the East Bay
Um,
area?
well, I mean, we have Manic Relapse Festival
Uh huh.
Oh, Near Dark.
and we have Near Dark, and those are like the two major ones, I would say. Sorry,
And
we're trying to reset our camera here.
does, when I say East Bay includes like Oakland, Berkeley, and including San Francisco too, right? Am I correct?
Oh, okay.
Is San Francisco part of East Bay?
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay. That's what I always thought. It's I'm from Los Angeles. When people say East Bay, I thought East Bay connects San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, and all that. But
Yeah, I grew up going to the Burnt Ramen too.
that was in Richmond.
Yeah,
I've been there
yeah.
twice. I've been there twice.
When I was 16, there was this show I really wanted to go there. It must have been in like 2002. And so I made a poster, or I took a poster and I changed everything to saying that it was at the SF Pound. You know, where do you remember the SF Pound?
No.
That was like near Hunters Point, like Bayview area.
I
Lots of bands played.
I just,
Um,
I remember Epicenter.
okay.
And then
But yeah, I remember going there and you had to, walk around the Amtrak because it wasn't safe to walk in Richmond. So you had to like walk around the Amtrak train and there was a hole in the fence that everybody climbed through to get to the club because there was a lot of gun violence. Every weekend, people were getting shot in Richmond.
but Richmond's different now, right? It mellowed out.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot more gentrified, that's for sure.
So, well, next question is, we I have a lot of friends come up in Los Angeles sometimes visiting and stuff. Chris was here last month as well. People who don't know too much about East Bay area or the scene, what are some cool places to hang out at? And what record store could they visit and stuff? Where's like cool place, things to do?
Econo Jams,
Yeah, Econo Jams is a good record
one,
store.
two, three, four, go.
I like that place and stuff. And what what's your favorite cafes or restaurants in the East Bay?
Oh, good
I like
question.
Cafe Dottier.
Yeah,
I
it's a
haven't heard
really
that.
The
small.
Ethiopian.
It's like a family-owned
Oh,
Ethiopian market on
you told me
Telegraph.
about that. I haven't been there and
Yeah, we have
stuff.
to go there get some
Really?
the veggie combo.
Yeah, it's all vegan. It's all gluten-free.
Uh huh.
And they have like lentils and different spices from Ethiopia that you can buy. So it's a really good community-based, family-owned
Yeah,
business
Right.
to
you're
support
supporting marginalized people of color
Mm-hmm.
rather than just buying some hoity-toity.
vegan sandwich that
Yeah.
costs $20.
Oh,
And
and Gay for You is great too. That used to be
Oh yeah.
Hella Vegan Eats.
Mm-hmm.
I
Tea for
think
You is an all vegan
I've been
restaurant.
I've been to Hella Vegan Eat. Weren't they a
Yeah,
food truck at first?
Yeah, they
yeah.
started out as
Yeah,
a food truck.
yeah,
I
Winter
yeah.
actually
actually
worked. Yeah.
volunteered. Yeah, I volunteered for them doing some pop-ups a
Oh,
couple
yeah,
years ago.
pop-ups. Yes.
Yeah.
Also speaking, you were talking about gentrification in Richmond earlier. Didn't you both? They used to live in San Francisco. As,
Yeah, I used to live in the Tenderloin, Turk and Leavenworth,
oh, really?
on the seventh floor, on the in the 70th unit. It
Oh,
was
wow.
crazy.
I I used to work. I used to work there. Um, there was a swimming pool. It's gone now. Indoor swimming pool. I used to be the supervisor there. It was
Oh
Oh
wow.
wow,
it was an
cool.
indoor swimming pool. It was like a 2 blocks away from the mosque in the Tenderloin area. I mean, I'm from Los Angeles, but man, when I saw Tenderloin, my first time saw it, I was going, wow, this is crazy. This is more crazy than Los Angeles. And
Mm-hmm.
we had a lot of at-risk youth and stuff. But I mean, but it was very surprising. There was a lot of kids in Tenderloin. A lot of kids,
It
but you
kind of
don't see
made
it.
me sad though, because I see this woman that had a baby, beautiful African American woman with a baby, and here she is with her. I'm a hairstylist and I specialize in curly hair, so I see this beautiful baby with her curly hair, and I'm like, oh my God, she's so cute. And then next thing you know, I see the carriage being covered by cloth
All right.
and the baby's taken away, and then she's
Wow.
on the side of the street with no teeth, and she's like, barely wearing any clothes. It was just really sad to see how everybody just gets swallowed and then spit out.
Yes. The craziest thing I saw was people shooting up in the broad daylight in Tenderloin. One time, this guy was chasing somebody with a knife, but he didn't chase all the way, like just half a block and stuff. But what's really interesting about Tenderloin, I still volunteer in that area. Mary and I, we both volunteer. There's a lot of what do you call it, Muslim community living there because there's 2 mosques walking distance in Tenderloin from each other and stuff. From Yemen, because there's a lot of refugees living. There's like a special government building where a lot of Yemeni refugees live and stuff, and all
I
that.
saw some guy pull down his pants and shoot up in his. Mm-mm.
That's crazy. I I find Tenderloin
It was so
more
scary.
more crazier than Los Angeles. I do. I never seen
Oh,
stuff like that. Not even LA, but it's crazy. And okay, now back to the band. If you could play with any bands from the 80s, it could be broken up and not around, or you could take the time machine and play with any bands from the 80s. Who would it be and why?
I'll play with Christian Death.
Which lineup? Because there's like, which album lineup for Christian Death? Catastrophe Ballet lineup or the Only Theater Pain with Rick Agnew, James, and George lineup? Which one?
Yeah,
Oh, which one? Catastrophe Ballet lineup or the Only Theater Pain lineup?
probably only Theater of Pain. Even though we play with them, I just would
Wow.
love to meet Roz, and I felt like I connected with him. Um, the day before the anniversary of his death on April 1st last year,
Uh huh.
and I finished writing that song "Eternal Resurrection" that's on the Bandcamp
Oh yeah, that's the
EP
song you
release.
dedicated to Roz and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I seen Christian Death a couple times, and on the reunions
Wow.
and stuff, and ran into
Wow.
yes, but I never
You saw his side projects too, right? Like
yes
Shadow Project
Shadow
and
Project,
Shaka Rhoda. Is
but
that how you pronounce it?
I have no idea. He was doing some weird stuff, but I wanted to see.
Premature
No,
ejaculation.
no, not that. But
No. Okay.
but I wanted to also see UK Christian Death. I never seen UK Christian Death because I mean I kind of like both and stuff. But okay,
Mm-hmm.
how about you? If
What
any
other
band,
bands?
I would say Poison Girls personally
Oh
because
yeah.
I feel like they're very underrated,
uh huh,
and I don't think people realize what an effect and influence they really had on the punk scene.
uh huh.
Um, B or vice versa, was a mom and wasn't really planning on becoming, a punk front woman.
Mm-hmm.
And, she didn't start Poison Girls until she was in her 40s.
Wow,
And she really helped to, I think, shape the UK anarcho punk community into what it is today.
this is
I
gonna.
would also
Uh-huh.
play with Plasmatics.
Oh, plasmatics. Wow, get all that TV and chainsaws and all that. But
Oh yeah.
speaking of Poison Girls, I don't know if this is true, but I read it in the old zine. They played in Los Angeles. I'm gonna Google it to see if it's true or not. I read it, and
Oh,
I didn't even see them. I didn't even hear about it. Then I read the review a long time ago saying, oh, and there was a Poison Girls show, goes on and on. I mean, because Thatcher on Acid played in L.A. a long time ago. Nobody knew about it. Some other
oh, wow.
other UK bands played it. Nobody knew about it and stuff.
Wow.
And you just read it in the zine and all that.
And
Right.
and maybe I would love to play with Rebella Ballet. I really wanted to play with them at Near Dark, but that didn't happen. So
Oh,
we're trying to figure out a time to meet up and play a show with them. We were gonna hopefully do that in the next, I don't know, year.
those are my favorite festivals. Near Dark and Manic Relapse Festival. I mean,
For sure.
you played at Manic Relapse, right? Manic Relapse
Yeah.
Festival. How about Near Dark? Did you play it Near Dark? Because they go on every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Gina and
Yes.
Brianne and Akiko and everyone involved.
Yeah,
Shout out to Scoot
they do amazing work at Near Dark. Do
for
you,
sure.
it's not gonna happen this year, huh? Near
It
Dark.
doesn't look like it.
Yes, because of all this thing that's going on. What about
Yeah.
what about bands who are around now, like from far away? Who would you like to play with?
I would still like to play with Rebella Ballet.
Mm-hmm.
I like to play with Sisters of Mercy.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
What are your inspirations?
In terms of like instruments or just
Anything,
overall music.
music wise and life and stuff.
I grew up listening to a lot of Black Sabbath, Jimi Hendrix, and jazz.
Uh-huh.
And so that's kind of where my saxophone influence comes from.
Oh, I
I
forgot you
first
play
discovered-
saxophone. I totally forgot you
Yeah.
play saxophone. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. That's I never seen, especially like in a punk band or like a death rock band, somebody coming up with the saxophone. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I took the middle school that I went to, we had curriculums that we could choose from,
Uh
and one
huh.
of them was band. So I ended up taking beginning, intermediate, and advanced band for sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. So that's how I learned how to play saxophone. But I grew up listening to Albert Ayler, Pharoah Sanders, all kinds of different jazz musicians, John Coltrane, Alice Coltrane. So jazz has always been a big influence on my life, and I feel like jazz is almost an extension of punk, or at least maybe was a prequel to punk, because there's so much jazz that you can listen to that's just pure noise, and it doesn't really have any kind of structure or time signature. It's just all kinds of
Improv.
improv, yeah, I guess you could say.
Like Sun Ra, they did a lot of that.
But I first kind of discovered punk through friends who I went to high school with, who, we were all listening to Exploited and GBH and, older crust bands like Amoebics. But I first discovered punk through Chumbawamba, who I didn't know was a punk band at the time. My dad bought the album Tub Thumper, and, everyone loved that song. And I didn't really know much about that band, and so I started researching them, and I was like, oh wow, this is an actual punk band. And I found their old anarcho punk albums, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. And realized the whole Tub Thumper album was actually, um, it was kind of a joke that they all decided to do, and they used all the proceeds of all the money that they made to put it back into the punk community. So I thought
Yes.
that was really cool because Chumbawamba is on Crass Records.
I was
So
really
that's how I discovered Crass, all
speaking
those bands.
speaking of Chumbawamba. I was really happy when they got really huge because I saw them on TV, and on the middle of the song they were saying "Free Mumia Abu Jamal, Free Mumia."
Yeah,
It's on YouTube. It was some talk show, and in the
That's
middle of their
so
song
cool.
they were chanting "Free Mumia Abu Jamal." But yeah, that's
wow.
true.
They're very great.
When they got huge, they donated funds and stuff. Still did benefits
Yeah,
and all that. A lot of people don't know that and stuff. And
yeah.
sorry if I'm talking too fast right now because I'm fucking
No, you're fine.
loaded on caffeine. But anyways, back to your jazz thing. The only jazz album I have is the early George Benson from the late 60s. I have that album from the jazz. I
Nice.
actually when George Benson was all jazz music, playing guitar all jazz, but before he started singing, I have his early stuff. George Benson. That's the only jazz album I have right now.
Have you heard Penny Rimbaud's jazz album?
Penny, wait, Penny Rimbaud put out a jazz album?
Yeah, it's called like Who, What, When, Why, I think it's called.
No,
And
that.
it's spoken word on top of like saxophone played in the background. I'll let you borrow it someday.
Are you sure it
It's
was
really
not
cool.
Eve Libertine? Because I did have one album of
No,
Eve,
it's Penny.
and her son was playing like jazz guitar, and she was doing weird opera,
Right.
like really
Yeah, it's
weird.
not that. It's Penny.
Because oh really? No, no. The only thing I heard about Penny's side project was he did a 90-minute cassette tape of all spoken words. That's the only thing I had by Penny, from Penny Rimbaud from Crass. No, I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well,
It's definitely like you have to be in a certain mood to listen to it.
yeah.
So I
Uh huh.
I was really inspired by Rudimentary Peni. When I was about 15, I had an after school counselor give me Rudimentary Peni. Cacophony was the first album, and I had my little disc, my CD
Discman.
disc man, and I'm listening to it. I put it in on my Muni. I'm on my way to school, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
A counselor
Oh my
gave it to you?
god!
A counselor gave that to you?
Yeah, my friend Rusty. Yeah, he played
Oh
drums in
wow.
some punk band. But I struggle with ADD and dyslexia, and I always
Uh
was
huh.
in after school programs trying to help myself to finish my homework because I had such an issue just focusing and working. I just felt like I worked like 50 times harder than a lot of other people just because I it was hard.
Speaking of
But
after school program, I used to volunteer doing after school program.
Oh,
that's
that's
cool.
awesome.
But I had to put my hair all neatly and cover long
Hmm.
sleeve. I would not
Right.
trim it all
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
stuff. But
And
on
then
the
Rusty also gave me craft stations, Black Flag. Um, what else? Yeah, I think just like those few albums, I was like, wow, this is blowing my mind. And then I ran away when I was 16 and lived on the street in Portland, Oregon. And I was spirit changing one day, and these couple comes up to me and they gave me farce and death church just randomly.
I'm just curious. What year were you in Portland, Oregon? What year was this? Was this when the
It
Liberation
was
Collective was going on, or
like 2002 or 2003.
was Liberation Collective, the Anarchy Center, was that open during that time? Was that before or after?
It might have been. I don't know. I just know that there was like I was hanging out with the punks that were in Defiance, the band Defiance.
Yes, yes.
And I had a bangs and a shaved down the middle and shaved on the side. And I think later on I ended up shaving my head because I got caught for stealing something, and so I had these little pigtails and then bangs and a shaved head. But there was there was definitely a war between the punks and the Nazis, and it came to a point where we had to like beat some Nazis' asses with our boots and shit.
Wow,
Oh, I,
that's
I took a
crazy.
spike bracelet and held it up to somebody,
Hey, did you saw that bee? Okay, but
Yeah, I did.
are you still friends with Defiance? Are you in touch with them? Because they're or did you lose contact
Um,
or anything?
I didn't, I was just like a punk rock 16-year-old person that was underage. Probably nobody wanted to do something with me because, it's scary hanging out with younger people sometimes. Um, but I know Kyle. I ended up meeting Kyle uh, in the rooms. I had a period where I was in AA, and Kyle now plays in Ace Phallic.
Oh, okay, okay, for sure.
Yeah.
So when this is all over, when everything's over, what are your plans with the band and stuff?
Well, we're gonna get together and celebrate the EP that we recorded because we haven't really had the chance to do that yet.
Uh,
Um,
what
Yeah,
labels?
our release was supposed to be March 27th at the Elbow Room.
What label is the new EP on?
it's just
Self release.
self-released right now. Yeah.
Oh, doing it self-release. And I have you both live in Oakland, right? I have a question about Oakland because I read this article that Oakland did like rent freeze. Was it rent? No, not rent freeze. What was it like? You don't have to pay rent for a month
Yeah,
do,
that's what they're saying, but there's
because of
definitely
lockdown.
strings attached to it. It's like they're trying to encourage people to not pay rent, but when they say that you're technically not what is it? They say that you don't have
To
to.
pay a mortgage or pay rent during this time,
Right, but you're
but you're
expected to pay it back later at a
yeah.
later time.
Oh,
So
okay. I must
it's
have read it
not.
wrong. I thought it was like free for 1 month or something.
Yeah,
No.
that's how
Okay,
they're trying to
Yeah.
make it look
I
like,
read
so
it wrong.
people,
Sorry.
be
And
like,
so a
oh, we
lot of
don't have
and
to do.
then they said at the bottom of articles that are saying these things that you're hearing, they say, well, if you want to live in your home and you want to stay in your home, we do not advise people saying that they aren't going to pay rent. We don't advise
Oh,
people
okay.
not paying rent unless you just want to get up and pack your stuff and leave and have a few months of rent for free.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Yeah, I just read it wrong. So you did pay rent.
We got actually a month free rent because I bugged my landlord about it.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I said, I haven't worked in the last 2 weeks. What's going on? Are we getting a discount on rent? I just text message him. Thanks to technology, I don't have to talk to anybody on the phone or anything. It's nice. And then we got a letter on our door saying that we could either get a month rent for free, or we could, save it up and pay in small increments if we wanted to. But that was only for this month or last month. So
Okay.
I have, I know that there's people that might uh, pay later on. They might do rent.
Since
So
since you're a hairstylist and you're out of job, are you at least getting unemployment?
I got a letter saying that I was, you know, um, that I think that they're going to give me 405 400 500 or something, 450 a week. But I
I
haven't,
haven't received
they
anything.
didn't give me anything.
Yeah, I think 'cause so many people applied at once, it's just hard, I guess. And I heard like the website crash and
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything.
I
they said
waited
that
a
it
week.
crashed the system, and they didn't really know what to do because millions and millions of people were trying to apply at the same time.
Yes. Are you a hairstylist or a hair cutter, or do you just style it, or you just cut hair?
I specialize in curly hair, so I do the diva cuts,
Oh, okay.
and then yeah, regular haircut and color. But a lot of like updos or heat styling, I don't really do.
Okay, just wondering, because before I took fashion, I almost thought about going into cosmetology. That's why. Just wondering.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Jen went to cosmetology school a long time ago and she used to cut hairs.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool. What does she do now?
Oh, now she does, she, she sells socks online. She has like so many, her garage is packed with socks, all like cartoon socks, different types of socks. And
Hmm.
I keep telling her, hey, bring it to the punk rock event, and she won't bring it. But
Yeah.
she just do it online, and she
Mm.
sells it at different events, like in LA, like the roller when they do what is that the roller skating people do? The big roller
Mm.
skate, they go in circle and they push. What is that thing called?
Oh, derby,
Yes, derby.
roller derby. Yeah.
Roller derby. She goes to a roller, sets up a roller derby or
Oh, cool.
some kind of event like similar to that. She sets it up and stuff. The thing is, like what you're doing with that vegan leather and stuff. I have a lot of respect for a lot of. I support. I like to support DIY business. Oh, what the fuck! It's just 2 minutes remaining because you can't do more than 60 seconds. We have fucking 1 minute and 50 seconds. Go ahead. Instagram's gonna turn us off automatically. Because
Okay.
when you do live Instagram, you can't go more than an hour. So we have 1 minute and
Okay.
40 minutes. Okay. Any last
Okay.
comments before we're gonna let it automatically turn off? Any last comments before you go?
Last comments. I would say disconnect from the social media. Stop comparing yourself and other people to situations. Stop giving into the fear. Keep a journal for yourself. Write down whatever you're feeling and ask yourself why you're feeling that way and what's making you feel that way. And also find an activity to help you to stay grounded and connected, whether it be gardening or reading or listening to music or watching videos. Just kind of, surrendering to, all the resources and tools that you have around yourself.
Cool.
Yeah. Keep making art and know that you're not alone in situations, and everybody's had different experiences in life, but that doesn't make you weaker or comparing yourself to other people. Just know that you have that experience that you can share with other people who might have been in pain, and that you're not alone.
What I'll do is also post this on YouTube tomorrow and send you the
Okay.
link and everything. But thank you so much for doing the interview. And we have
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you
we
so
have like
You are
10,
so inspiring.
we have like 8 seconds to go. We'll keep talking until this ends.
These
Fine.
interviews have really helped my mental health. So thank you.